Hi, this is Cheryl St.Pierre, back again with another tutorial. I'm calling this one the Loopy Swirl necklace, and it's quite elegant. I quite like it, the way it's shaped, and it's airy and light and cheerful. So let's begin. I just wanted to mention one more thing before I head into the supply list. I did a ring tutorial yesterday, and I had a couple of not so nice comments. And one was saying that the ring's nothing special. And so I didn't post that. But, you know, these are free to you tutorials. And that was a simplistic ring that is great for beginners to practice on. And so what if it's nothing special? It's just that hidden little technique that made it look extra cute, and I thought it would be nice to share. So I've addressed that one. And the other one was regarding my nail polish and the sparkles. Yes, it's distracting, but it's a necessary evil for me because I have, from health issues, very thin nails that bend easy, and it's painful because it hits the nerves underneath. And I find that the sparkles, because they're metallic sparkles, gives that strength and a little bit of durability. I'm actually starting to get a little bit of growth in my nails because of that. So the sparkles are important to me, so I am asking you to bear with it, and I will try not to do tutorials with the sun glaring and making it worse, because I would imagine the sparkles aren't as bad in this tutorial. So I just want you to understand why I have the sparkles. And, you know, and it is my personal choice too, right? So anyways, let's go on with the supply list. So we're using 20 gauge wire, again, which is 0.81 millimeters in metric. And for the main part of the wrapping job, we're going to have 2 feet, which is 60 centimeters. I'm probably being generous here, and if it's excessively generous, I will let you know once I'm done wrapping. But I just wanted to be generous in case you're larger with your swirls or you have a bigger bead than I've got. So anyways, 2 feet for that. And then for the drop, I'm using a scrap. It's about between 3.5, 4 inches. So 4 inches is 10 centimeters. So I think this is slightly less than 4 inches. So, you know, give or take. And we are using 4 by 3 millimeter rondelle crystals as the accents. And I believe I measured this. Oof, I got to measure it again. I did measure it, but I didn't write it down. So I think this is 13 or 14 millimeters long. Of course, you could use any crystal you have around, but I will put affiliate links in the comments. And this is 8 millimeters wide, so approximately there. And an oval bead, and this is a flat oval bead, and you could use a gemstone bead. It could be a little bit bigger than this. It could, I don't think you want to go smaller than this, but I mean, you can experiment. And this one is like 12 millimeters long. And hang on, it's got to be longer than that, sorry. 17 millimeters long, 16, 17 millimeters long, and 12 millimeters wide. That's why I knew it was longer than that. Okay, so that's the beads. And for tools, ruler, flush cutters, round nose pliers, and chain nose pliers. So pretty standard. And so let's start by making our drop, the little drop here. So I'm taking my little scrap here and my round nose pliers. And we're going to make a largish loop. So an eye pin, we're making basically an eye pin, but we need this loop to be at least 4 millimeters in size because it's going around 2 wires. So right, that's a P loop. Now I'm just going to push it back like this to make the eye loop. And then I'm going to straighten this out, and that'll also work harden it. And that's going to be inside the bead. We don't really have to work harden it, but it's it doesn't hurt either. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. And so this is actually a very easy drop to make. And we want an open loop here so that it can go around the other one. The other loop can't open up, so one of them has to open, and it's just easier this way because of the wrapping. Okay, so we're going to be doing the design work on the left hand side. We want this one to have a bit of a swirl. So if you're going to do it, you could always go around back and have no swirls, but if you choose to have a swirl like I do, I'm doing it on the right hand side. So I'm just going to put a little swirl like this, and then up and around, give it some character. This loop we want front to back, but we can adjust that later. And then we want to wrap around. Now I should have given more space here, and let's see if I can still do that. I opened that up, and now I've got a little bit of space. So I'm going to give it some faux wraps, you know, so it looks like it's a wrap loop, because it's kind of hidden anyways. But I'm going to try and wrap twice around. See, 4 inches would have been good because this is a little short. Okay, and while I'm at it, I'm going to twist this loop like that. And I'm going to snip that off at the back and crimp it in with my flesh cutters. Oh, and that ring, I have a similar design where I put a stone in it. It's almost identical, just accommodating a stone. And I don't know if I want to go ahead and do that. If you think I should, write in the comments if I should go ahead and make that tutorial. Maybe my ring tutorials for simplistic things just aren't welcome. And I don't know. Let me know. Okay. And there. That's done. And now we can set that aside. And the next thing we're going to do is grab the 2-foot length of 20 gauge wire. Find the approximate center. And we're going to just move over from the center just a smidge. It doesn't really matter because I think I've got extra wire here too. And we're going to make the bail first. That's the first thing we're going to make is the bail. And I'm fighting with the long wire in the camera. It's awkward. So we're going to do a double loop. And it doesn't matter if it's, does it matter front or back? We want it to be that way, which is frontwards. Okay, so we're going to do a frontwards wrap. So that means I'm wrapping it around the left-hand side. Not the right-hand side for a backwards loop. Okay. Sorry if I'm going out of the camera. My wire's just catching on everything. And I'm just going to cinch that up a little bit bigger because it got small on me. Okay, so you've got the double wrap. That's where you've got it. It's a double wrap. You've got that 90-degree corner there. And now I want you to wrap, let's see, four times. We're going to wrap 4 times. And I wonder if I should do this out of the camera because I'm just fighting so much with my wire. It's going to be messy because I'm fighting with the wire and the camera. But I can straighten it out later. So I'm just doing like this. Okay, got that. Now, what's neater, the front or the back? The back's neater. I'm just going to flip it around. See, simple as that. Make it neat. I put my round nose pliers in here to make it even neater. Now I'm going to cinch up my wrappings like so. There, now that's nice and neat. Now I'm wondering if I'm close enough for you to see everything. I will just move a little bit closer. Okay, got that. Now the next thing to do is to put on your bead onto the wire that is down. Okay. And you want to pick what is front and what is back of your bead. And I choose this to be the front. And I'm going to actually take this wire and go around to the back with it. Okay, so like that. And that should help the bead from flipping around. Okay, and now I got it around the back. And I'm going to wrap around this one time. Okay. And then I'm going to move both wires to the right. And we're going to make one loop. Just double checking here with my prototype. Make sure I do it. Okay. So we want the wires a little bit close together, but we also want it centered because that's where the dangle is going to hang off of that loop. And then we're going to come around again, just slightly larger, like this. And so it's going to look like this. And see how this wire is showing up a little bit here? That's okay. And right now, this outer wire, we're going to put 3 of our rondelles on that. So it's this wire here. So I'm going to put 3 rondelles on there. And you want it to make it spread that wire about, you know, a little bit like that. So you want it to sit fairly close, but not too close, but like that. And now we are going to do a counterclockwise loop with the 2 wires together here. So this is I'm going to flip this upside down. Okay. And maybe I don't. Yes. Okay. So we're going this way. So I want to kind of go like this, where they're kind of, I'm pushing my fingernail there. And do a loop like that. So it's like that. And we kind of want to push this up a little bit like that. So it's kind of like a springboard. And these will separate like this. And that's okay because it looks pretty. So we're going to leave it like that. And we're going to do one more loop, a little bit bigger right beside it. And we're going to keep the wires together for that. So like about so. And we're just adjusting everything. Everything's shifting around, and that's okay. Going like that. And now we want to position this to be attractive on the bead. So about there. And we want to do a little loop right here. So it's going to be a little bit of airspace here, and that's okay. And I want to kind of round this a little bit ahead of time. So this is kind of awkward feeling, but we want a tiny loop right there. So it goes like that. So there's lots of airspace here, but that's okay. And now we're going to wrap around the bail stem right at the top of the bail, or the stem, I mean. And you want to be like this. And now we're going to do some curly cues here, but one of them is going to have a bead on it, so we need it to be a little bit extra in length. So the top one, we're going to do our standard 1 centimeter, but the bottom one, let's give it an extra. Well, let's cut the top one first. So measure that centimeter. So that's about there. And that went flying on me. I should have hung on to that. And yes, I have ample room. So you could definitely do less than 2 feet of wire. And I'm going to I'm guesstimating here about 4 millimeters longer in length on this one. And so you could go probably 18 inches and have enough, but go 20 inches. And yeah, I think that's good. Now I'm taking, you can use your round nose pliers, but I like using my chain nose pliers for this. And I'm going to do a loop on the top one, just so it touches itself. I mean, like a closed loop. Okay, and then this one we're going in the same direction, but we're putting that last rondelle on it right here. So we're going to bring it down a little bit and then make our loop. So I might have given extra length here. If I do, I'm going to trim it off. But let's see how it looks. That loop could be a little bit larger. No, it's actually perfect. And just push it down a little bit. And there, I'm quite happy with that. That looked quite nice. And I move those. That's sitting quite nice. I just need to straighten out my bail a little bit. Okay, so now let's grab our drop and open up that loop. Now, I think I have to push this forward a little bit so that I can get this loop in here and then close it up. And then we can always adjust the other one if need be. So it's got quite nice dangle to it. That's why you want the bigger loop. And it's brought forward, but it actually looks okay being brought forward. But if you like it better to be flatter, you can push it down. And you could just, it's sitting up. I'm just going to gently push it down like that. There, it's done. Ready to go on a chain. You need it to have dangle room though. Let's see how that works. There. Nope, that works good. Okay, so it's done. And thank you for joining me in this video. Comment, let me know your thoughts about what I should do with that other tutorial. Again, I appreciate you being with me here. I'm going to leave the links to supplies best I can find on Amazon. There'll be affiliate links. Every click helps me, and I appreciate your assistance with that. God bless, and take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.